Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. What is up, people? Who is out there with me right now? All right. Hope everybody's having a great, wonderful Wednesday. It is 11:30 in the morning here in San Antonio, Texas, and I'm just getting my day started. And you know what's funny is today I was actually going to do a video, which I will do later, regarding military and the smoking on the ganj. I'll probably do that later. Hopefully, if we're able to get some feedback here, I definitely will take it into account as I do the recording for being able to smoke herb in the military. Hey, what's going on, Big Watts? How you doing, homie? Hey, congratulations, by the way, Watts. Congrats on picking up that one thing. I don't want to put too much out there because the next thing you know, you're gonna be associated with me, and I don't need you getting in trouble, baby. But hey, y'all, thanks for tapping in. Make sure you guys do me a favor and like. If you're on YouTube, like and subscribe if you haven't done so yet. If you're watching me on Facebook, if you're watching, it's only on Facebook, on the Gunline Podcast Facebook, and as well as my personal Facebook. And you could go to the On the Gunline Podcast YouTube channel, which is where I'm streaming at right now. Hey, man, hey, Watts, I really am proud of you, bro. I mean, I've seen you since you was, and we were back in Korea back in '08. And to see where you're at now, it's really awesome, brother. I appreciate your service. Thank you for what you've done, man. And you know what? Speaking about service, that's one of the reasons that I'm on here today. I want to speak on Tim Walz. Tim Walz, who is the VP candidate for Kamala Harris. Hey, what's going on, Big G? How you doing? Hey, Gunners Collective TV, that's the homie right there. If you guys haven't done so, go tap in with the Gunners Collective TV. That homie there has a lot of knowledge you can't get in college. It's that street knowledge, baby. But check this out, man. I want to talk about this VP. It's becoming like a divisive topic between myself and a couple of people that I know that I served with in the military. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because, look, he was a 13 Bravo as myself. And a lot of my friends on Facebook are also 13 Bravos, or in the Marine Corps, they were 0800s, which is field artillery. So the fact that Tim Walz is an artilleryman, hey, that gives me this little specialness to my heart. I love that. The thing about it is, I made a post earlier today on my personal Facebook, which basically gets down to the point where Tim Walz was supposedly, allegedly, from what I'm hearing, he was supposed to get out in 2007. That was what he had supposedly filled out on his contract. I don't know how it works with the nasty girls, all right? I only know active duty. But nasty girls, for those that are civilians, that means National Guards. Now, the thing is that apparently when he came down on a pat chart, or when he found out he was going to deploy, all of a sudden that fool said, I'm gone, homie. And to me, that's pretty gay for reals. That fool straight out just said, I'm out of here. So that's just not cool, man. I mean, you signed up to go to 07, allegedly. But then when you found out that you're being activated and you're gonna deploy, rather than go with your Joes and go with your unit, you decide to call it quits. Now, my homegirl Angela made a very good point earlier on that Facebook post, saying that there were some people that had ran their course already and needed to get out. And I agree with her. I do agree that there's some people that they need to chuck deuces. Bye-bye. However, I get that he did 24 years, but isn't it kind of suspect that, you just happen to find out that the Warno is coming and you decide I'm chucking deuces? That's more cowardly than it is honorable, in my opinion. And apparently, it started a discussion with me and another buddy of mine. And shout out to my homeboy Jumbo, man. Jumbo, I got nothing but love for him. I served with him in Korea, and then I served with him in Fort Carson. Um, he's very passionate on his point of views as well as I am, and it doesn't mean that we can't have these discussions. Um, it just to me, Trump was brought up, and I knew that was going to come up as soon as I put that post up there. I knew they're going to bring up Trump as far as him not serving in Vietnam because he allegedly had bone spurs and whatnot. Look, I get that 100%. I may support Trump's candidacy, but it doesn't have to do because of his military service, and it has to do because he's been in the office before, and in the climate that we're in right now, I think he's the best person for the job, as opposed to Kamala. But I will say that people are bringing up and touting Tim Walz's military career. Let's start with the first thing. He claimed to be a retired command sergeant major. That turned out to be what? False. He lied. Major. And then, to me, the biggest thing was him dropping out of the deployment. What does that show your Joes that you're leading, especially as a 13 Bravo, as a field artilleryman? We try to hold ourselves to a higher standard than most other military MOSs or jobs. Anybody who's in the field artillery, they know in the Army that we hold ourselves to a certain way of dress, a certain way of attitude, because we are the king of fucking battle. That's not just a phrase. That's a truth. That's a way of life. Now, I know there's a lot of people that are going to be out there saying, dude, you drank the Kool-Aid and whatnot. And yeah, I did drink the Kool-Aid. In order to be in the military and be successful in it, you have to drink that Kool-Aid sometimes, and you're taking it from somebody who I always wanted to serve my country. I knew that I was going to go to war. I joined during a time of war. You know what I mean? So for this retired master sergeant to go ahead and try to stand on his military career, it calls into question what was the deal over it. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, I want to know what y'all think. What is y'all's opinions? Put it in the comments and let me know what y'all thoughts are. Because I really believe that he is a fucking coward. In my eyes, I think back to the leadership that I've had, my senior NCOs. I really can't think of any E8 that shouldn't have been in that position. I can't. None of my first sergeants they didn't look like they were the type that got there because they were ass kissers or because they were, political or like the good old boy club. And I'll start from my very first sergeant who set the standard on what the rest of my first sergeants, and that was First Sergeant Brenton, retired Command Sergeant Major Brenton now. He set the standard, and it was a high fucking standard for these other first sergeants to follow. But from there, I didn't see anyone, whether it be, there was one. He ended up crying in front of the formation out in Korea. We used to call him T2000. And he got his ass whooped by First Sergeant Roundtree. Anybody that was in Korea in 08, y'all know what I'm talking about. But then you had First Sergeant Samuel on point. Then I had First Sergeant Melvin G. Neely. If y'all don't know who Melvin, I'll tell you. That motherfucker was on one. What's going on, Roland? Glad to see you here, brother. So again, my problem, if you're in the seat, I've seen E7s that had no business being E7s. I tell you that. Sergeant first classes that made it because they were ring knockers, as some people would call them. I'm not gonna say what. If y'all don't know what that means, y'all know what that means. Watch, you know what I'm talking about. You were there in Korea. That's right. But let me tell you, how do you guys feel? I would love to hear y'all tap in the comments. What do y'all think? I mean, without mentioning Trump, all right, because that's the only retort I keep getting is, well, Trump didn't serve, he had bone spurs. Yeah, but we're not talking about Trump. We're talking about Tim Walz. That's what I'm talking about. And I'm also talking about Kamala. And my issue is with this, with the escalations being tense as they are right now out in the Middle East, do we really want that gruesome twosome in the Oval Office? I don't. I personally don't. I don't know if you can see my shirt. I mean, that tells you who I support. But I'm always open to dialogue. You know what I'm saying? You know, we don't have to always agree. And that's one thing about the gun line, y'all. Y'all know how we handled it on the gun line. When we were out on the gun line, that's when we had the conversations about everything. So nobody got butt hurt. And if you did, you got clowned on for being a little butt hurt bitch. But it's just a trip to me that this election cycle is going to be just like it was 4 years ago, where it gets divisive, where friends become enemies. And honestly, if that's what it boils down to some people, that their political views are they're so attached to them, then it's so be it, so be it. The one thing I know about politics is this: it's only 4 years. You know what I mean? It's only 4 years. I think every politician is a liar and a cheat, and they should fear the people they serve. 100%. Gary, you are 100% on that, Roland. It's supposed to be of, by, and for the people, right? And I think that's why a lot of folks, or the powers that be, dislike Trump. All right. Look, I don't know Trump as a person, so I can't like him or hate him. But I will say this: I know that when he was in power, when he was the president, my 401k looked fucking chef's kiss. All right. And now with you can see how the economy is right now, inflation where it's at right now. So, and again, he's not going to fix it in 4 years, but he can help get policies done that can. And people, I will tell y'all this: the president is not, he is not an authoritarian. All right. We have a balance of powers. So it's not like he can just write up an executive order that says everybody's fired. You know what I mean? So that Project 2025 shit, y'all need to get that out y'all heads, man. Get it out y'all heads. And I want to jump back to Tim Walz. Look, you know what's funny? JD Vance. I'm not a fan of JD Vance at all. At all, okay? But I will say this: he's humble. Because, he was a jarhead. Shout out Jarhead. And, he was a super pogue. Got it. And that's because, he was a combat correspondent. That's politically correct speech for he took pictures. He was a cameraman out in, he was if you've seen Full Metal Jacket, he's what Joker was. So with that, it trips me out that, he said, like, in one of his things that I was reading, like, he said, like, he wasn't in the shit. He was a Marine, he deployed, but he wasn't in the shit like the other cats were. He wasn't out there like that one candidate a couple of years back that got fucked over by the Swift Votes veterans who lied about grenades and shrapnel. But back to Tim Walz. Tim Walz, let's break down his military career, man. I mean, got it. He was an enlisted man. I knew many enlisted men that were hot garbage. Hot garbage. All right. Now, how do you get promoted in Nasty Girls? I don't know. I don't know how that works. But he made it to E8. Usually, don't they get promoted based on who's alive and who dies, and then who needs to fill that slot? I don't know. So I heard he lied about being a command sergeant. Yeah, he exactly. He retired a master sergeant. He retired at E8, not an E9. Now he could have said he served in maybe he could have said he served in a sergeant major position or command sergeant major position, but he didn't retire at E9. He retired at E8. And that's the issue that I have. It's little shit like that. You know, the Army likes to preach integrity, right? Which I hate that fucking phrase, by the way, because motherfuckers be acting like they never fucked up and lied about it. But anyway, this fool try to play the part that he was a retired command sergeant major, you know. And for anybody that knows, a command sergeant major is not an easy rank to make, and especially, you know, be in charge of a battalion or a brigade. So I'm just saying that fool didn't have to lie to kick it. He could have just said I retired at E9 or at E8. I'm sorry. And you know, I don't know how long it takes to do it in the National Guard. I don't. But at the end of the day, what it boils down to, he basically fucked over his troops, in my opinion. Again, this is my opinion. He fucked over his troops by leaving them out in the wind. You know, he was supposed to deploy with them and said, nah, I ain't going. You know, I'm glad that he did it now when I think about it, because do you really want that leader out there? If he was going to do something like that, do you think he's going to perform in a firefight? I don't know. But the problem that I have with it is that he signed up. He joined the military, getting all the benefits. If he would have retired out before before he got the Warno, I would understand that. I would get that. All right, cool. You know, he dropped his retirement. He didn't know that that they were getting ready to deploy. I understand. But to go ahead and just drop out when you know the Warno's coming down, bro, that's akin to shooting yourself in the foot or getting knocked up before deploying. That's what it is. That's all it is. Meanwhile, I had a sergeant major who was having symptoms of having a heart attack while in JRTC, and rather than go back home, that fool said, "Nah, I'm going back to JRTC to train with his boys." You know, Sergeant Major Mendoza did not like me worth the shit. Shout out Mad Mike, Command Sergeant Major Mike Mendoza. That motherfucker, he had the heart of a warrior, bro. I'll say that. That motherfucker, he was bout it, rowdy. And I'm just saying, like you said right there, Roland, facts, 100%. Don't sign on the dotted line if you're scared to die. You know, 100%. Now, here's the thing about that. Nobody wants to go to war and die. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to die, obviously. However, you do know that that is a possibility. You know, I get it that he joined in 81 during the time of peace. You know, I'm sorry, the Cold War. You know, I see cats out there wearing Cold War veteran. Bro, come on, man. That's like asking for a participation trophy. You joined, you served, the end. I'm not saying that there's anything less of you for not being in combat or anything like that. Just say you were a U.S. Army veteran. That's it, bro. But when you put Cold War veteran, it's like you're trying to get that. You feel like you're being left out. You know what I'm saying? And this fool right here, I don't know. Am I the only one that this irks? You know, I guess that's why I'm a vet, bro. You know, that's why I'm a fucking vet, bro. Because shit like this is what irks the shit out of me. That they signed a fucking dotted line. They know what's at risk. And when it's time to fucking pay your dues, they're like, you know what? I think I'm done. And I'm sure that, you know, he used his pool as a sergeant major. Oh, I'm sorry, as a E8, as a master sergeant to get out. You know, and that it to me, I don't like the fact that it gives a bad name to the field artillerymen. All right. I served with many, many, many field artillerymen who have been great fucking leaders, who I saw when we were E5s and E6s, and then they got out as first sergeants, you know, or they're coming out as sergeant majors. I know one who was that I served with, who was in the at the academy right now, and I guarantee you, in my opinion, I guarantee you that he would fucking, if he had dropped paperwork to retire, he would do everything possible to go with his unit if they were coming up to fly out. You know what I'm saying? Shout out, Nat. I know you would. So that's pretty close to stolen valor, in my opinion. It's riding the line. You know, I wouldn't. I wouldn't say it's stolen valor, but I would say it's cowardice. It's coward. It's straight bitch made. Um, Mainly because this fool, again, had he had the opportunity to deploy with his people and lead them from the front. And in the National Guard, I believe that you're just supposed to be even a closer unit or cohesiveness because it's from people from around your area. So I don't understand how you can go back home. How can you go back home and look these people in the fucking eye after they went, but you stayed? You know, that's a fucking slap in the face. And if you haven't done so yet, if you are on the Gunline, if you're on the YouTube, do me a favor and tap that like, you know, tap that subscribe if you haven't done so yet either. What's going on, Kramer? How you doing today, brother? I tell you, it's just something that really, really bothers the fuck out of me because you're making all artillerymen look bitch made. And we're not bitch made. You know, we are the king of battle for a reason. And homeboy just did the political game. That's like going to Korea. All right. You have people when we were in Korea that fucking we had people in Korea that there was a sergeant major. As I recall, there was a sergeant major in Korea that when I got there in 07, he had not deployed yet. All right. Now the war had been going on already since 03. This was 07. And this sergeant major still was slick sleeved. He was still light on the right, as we called it. All right. And I want to say he retired out of there too. A command sergeant major, bro. And me, a E4, I show up as a specialist, and I got my fucking I had my 4ID combat patch. What am I saying with that? I'm saying that there's motherfuckers that ducked out in Korea. We called it the Avoid Iraq program. All right, Avoid Iraq program, the AIP. They called it the Army Incentive Program, where they paid you extra hundreds to stay there for an additional 3 years. A lot of motherfuckers, they did it not because they fucking they loved serving in Korea. They did it because they didn't want to deploy. All right, they didn't want to deploy. The Avoid Iraq program, straight up. A lot of motherfuckers did that. So, you know, if you're a coward, you're a coward. I get it, man. Just say it. Like, hey, I didn't want to deploy, so I dropped my paperwork, and that's why I got out. Roland says, my senior NCO and AIT never deployed either. I found that weird. There's a lot of motherfuckers that do that shit, man. And look, I'm not taking away for those that they didn't have the opportunity to deploy because they were already on recruiting duty or were permanent recruiters or whatnot. I'm saying if you joined specifically a combat MMOS and the opportunity comes for you to go do your job in combat and you don't fucking jump on it, you're a bitch. Straight up. I had an E7 in Campbell that did that. He ducked and dodged until he got out and then wanted the first sergeant to award a Bronze Star. Get the fuck out of here, Bronze Star. You know what's funny is I've seen so many Bronze Stars given out to people simply because of their rank. Because of the rank. They never even went out on a mission. Simply because of the rank, they got a Bronze Star. You know, I get it. It depends on the responsibility that you have and whatnot. And, you know, what you did during that mission. However, when you're just a sergeant first class or above who just happens to be, you know, in S1, for example, or you work at the TOC or you work at the ALOC and you get a Bronze Star, that's bullshit. You're cheapening what it's for. You're cheapening what it's for. Now, you got fucking E1s through E4s out there pounding the fucking ground in Afghanistan and Iraq. And you know what they got? They got an attaboy. They got an ARCOM. Or they get a fucking Army Achievement Medal. The same shit you get for going to the field, y'all. The same shit you get for going to the fucking field in country, they would get here. I mean, they would get the same shit you get for going to the field, they would get for going overseas. So that's some bullshit. That's what happened to the ARCOM. Yeah, the ARCOM, everything's been cheapened. You know what's funny? Only the fucking army will come up with the stupid idea to put a device on it to reflect combat. They put a C device on it now. Now, here's the funny thing about it. What will constitute getting that C device? Because I'm just going to say this. Unless you were in combat operations, unless you were engaging or engaged by the enemy directly, you don't deserve it. You haven't earned it. It's not earned. Everybody needs to have that fucking flair on their chest. Everybody likes having that chest candy, but they don't like going out to earn it. They don't like going out to earn it. Again, that fucking E9. That fucking E9 who claims that he was E8. That master sergeant who claims that he was a motherfucking command sergeant major. Him. That garbage piece of shit. That's your vice president that you guys want to select. Hey, more power to you. But just know if he ranked out and flaked out on his own fucking unit when it was time to fucking deploy, do you really want that man involved in foreign policy? Should Kamala become the president? Do you really want that man speaking for you? I don't fucking think so. Let's see. Kramer says either being in a tick or by being hit by indirect fire is the only way I see a C device. Well, again, here's the thing. Like, why even have to make that distinction? You know what I mean? Why even have to make that distinction? It's like, I wish that the army could get rid of the fucking patches already. I really fucking do. Because all it does, look how it's cheapened it. I remember in in JRTC, it got to the point where, and this was when we were still in, it got to the point where they were telling the fuckers from the 101st that they needed to take off their combat patches off because there were other fellas who didn't have a combat patch who were feeling like they were looked down upon. You know, so what do they do now? What do they do now in basic training? They give you a fucking patch. What the fuck? You know, I don't get it. I don't fucking get it. The army is not the Boy Scouts of fucking America. The army is to be used. We're supposed to be lethal. We should be there to get ready to go and attack and murk some motherfuckers. Not fucking collecting badges for a goddamn to show. Yeah, there was a news story about that. Yeah, bro, I'm telling you, I haven't seen this guy. I can't wait to see what his DD-214 looks like. I'm sure it's gonna come out sooner or later. His DD-214 for Tim Waltz. I would love to see what his DA photo looks like. You know what I mean? And I would love to see what he's got stacked on his chest. It's just aggravating, yo. It's just aggravating. And what do people keep saying? Well, Trump didn't go to war. I got it, but I'm not talking about Trump. I'm not saying what Trump did was good either. That motherfucker claimed he had bone spurs. Got it. However, I know that Trump, well, at least in my opinion, that Trump isn't a warmonger. That Trump isn't going to go and try to escalate things to the point of no return, where they're at right now almost. I mean, if you think about it, we're escalating so much out there in the Middle East that sooner or later, one of our soldiers or service members are going to get hit, and we're going to have no choice but to retaliate. And when we do that, there's going to be a can of whoop ass that's going to be fucking opened. Because right now, you got a bunch of motherfucking ships out there that are full of crayon-eating jarheads who have an itchy trigger finger and just can't wait to get into that fight. Hey, and more power to y'all. Salute. However, if we're gonna do so, let's do it for our country, not for somebody else. We have no business out there in Israel. We have no business out in the Middle East. All right. We're not a fucking empire. We're not Rome. We don't need to keep our fucking footprint all over the place. Let's worry about our country. How about this? Instead of sending all that fucking money and spending all that shit to go out there, how about this? How about you use that money instead and pay our fucking soldiers what is necessary to live with this inflation? All right. With the cost of living rising. But no, what do y'all want to do? Government gives a big $20 fucking bonus, a whopping $20 a month for 6 months, y'all. That's what they want to do. All right, $20 a fucking month raise for the cost of living. That's what the government's doing. What do y'all think about that shit? And it's going to be funny because I can already see, well, Tim Walz is a veteran. Tim Walz can't do a fucking thing anyway. He's a fucking VP candidate, okay? He's a VP candidate. So he can't do shit anyway. I'm getting passionate, y'all. I'm getting fucking passionate. My bad. Hell yeah, preach, bro. We did the dirty work, and now we get the big fuck you. Facts. Facts. This is my boy Palfy right here. My boy Palfy. Me and Palfy go back to 2004 when we fucking were in Delta Battery 122 Field Artillery, OSUT field in Fort Sill, Oklahoma. The Dems really wised up by selecting a candidate that is with the Dem. Okay, this says to me that Kamala doesn't know what she's doing and is not presidential material. Tim Walz should be a damn presidential candidate. If anything, yeah, if anything. But again, I say this, as I love the field artillery, I don't like the fact that that all right, okay. I hope y'all can still hear me. Let me know if you can still hear me. $20 and it's still fucking taxed. Are you god damn? So they're getting a whopping $20 increase and it's still getting taxed. So let's say, they're getting what? Maybe $13 out of that. Big fuck you, soldiers. That's what they're saying. Fuck you. And then now this is shit that will make me think like, okay, why is retention so low? You know what I mean? You want me to go fight, or we want to go ahead and send money out to Ukraine. We want to send money out to the Middle East, but we can't fucking send money to the people that we're going to be involving when those wars escalate. You know what I mean? Take care of your soldiers now. Take care of your soldiers now so they can be set up for success. All right? You think that because when we deploy and we're not taxed anymore and we get the hazardous duty pay and all this other, but that doesn't fucking matter, man. They need this shit now. The cost of living is a bitch right now. $20 extra a month. Whoop the fucking do. You could fill up your tank, maybe a quarter of a tank with those $20. Bullshit. There's no more opportunities for soldiers to make a living. Are advanced, so they leave. Yeah. I agree with what you're saying. Then they gave 11 million to The Rock. Yeah, I did a video on that. How they spent 11 million fucking dollars on a recruiting promotion with The Rock and the UFL. And how did that work out? How many? Let me tell you. Let me tell you how it worked out. You know how many fucking new enlistees they had? Take a guess. Here, I'll help you. Zero fucking mills. All right. That's how many they had. 0 fucking mills is what they got for candidates. Yeah. Guess what? They actually ended up losing enlistees. They ended up losing people to enlist. So yeah. That's fucking pathetic. That was a well spent 11 million fucking dollars. In the meantime, you got fucking soldiers living in the goddamn barracks, full of mold. You got soldiers who can't afford to buy. You know what? I'll put it to you. This is how shitty the pay is in the military. All right. So y'all know, people. When I got out, I was a staff sergeant. When I had my first kid, I was a staff sergeant. I was eligible to. I was eligible for WIC. I was eligible for WIC. That's how great we're paid in the military. I was eligible for WIC, women, infants, and children. So that's the extent of the pay that they get. Now, am I saying that they're any better than anyone else? No, not at all. And I do believe in fiscal responsibility. I do believe in people living within their means. All right. Nobody tells that private to go get that motherfucking Charger or that, that fucking Mustang. Nobody told that private to do that shit. However, how about investing those $11 million? Here's this, Army. Here's this big Army. Here's this. You could have taken those $11 million and invested it in maybe a program to educate E1 through E4s on financial responsibilities. That right there would have made a difference. That right there would have helped the E1 through E4. And don't get it twisted. I know there's E5, E6s, E7s out there that are retarded with money. But I'm just saying E1 through E4 are your demographic that are going to spend their money more stupidly. All right. If you break down that, when we was a private, would work for $1.80 an hour under 3 times the minimum wage. I get it. But okay, Kramer, let's not get too fine line here, because I could also break down how many hours you actually worked, especially as a 13 Bravo during the fucking work week. You know what? Let's go ahead and do that. Let's break down the work week of a motherfucking 13 Bravo. Let's say it's Monday morning, 05:30. You wake up, you wash your face, you shave your face, you fucking put on your PTs and head out, and it's 06 formation. You go, you salute the flag. Once you salute the flag, you do what? You go run. So from 06:30, you got PT to 07:30. That's 1 hour right there. All right. You did 1 hour of work right there. 06:30 to 07:30. Then what happens? Oh, you don't have to go straight to work. You get to go back to your room, change, take a shower, shave up, change up, get your uniform pressed or get your uniform on. Don't have to be back at the motor pool till 9:30, right? Can't pick it back till 9:30. So you got 2 hours from 7:30 to 9:30 to get dressed and have breakfast. You show up to first formation at 9:30, which means you got to be there at 9:15 formed up. So you got to be there about 0900 at the motor pool. Still, that's an hour and a half. All right. Bet. Bam. You do 9:30 formation. Boom. Salute. You're good to go. Now, if you're one of the lucky ones and you're fucking squared away, your smoke is going to fucking pull you out and do what? Smoke's going to pull you out and be like, hey, you look good. Let's answer some questions. You do good enough, and what's going to happen? You going home. You know it, and I know it. So there's that. That's if you're that lucky. But let's continue with the regular soldier. You done with formation, you got to go do your fucking PMCS at the motor pool, right? So you're in the motor pool. You do your 10-minute walk around the fucking howitzer. If you're, you elevate the tube. You fucking check the tracks if you're mechanized. You check the fluid levels and all that good shit on the toad and all that good shit. You get up digital, you get up voice. All right, cool. You do that till 11:30. How many smoke breaks do you take in between that 9:30 formation that lasts till about 9:45? So 9:45 to 11:30. And how many breaks do you take in between there? Okay, so we're not going to talk about, we're going to continue. 11:30 comes around. You go to break. You go on lunch. So far you've worked for, let's say 2 hours plus 3 hours you've worked for. All right. So then from there, what happens? You go to lunch. You go to lunch from 11:30 to what time? Oh, wait. What time you come back from lunch? 11:30 to 12? Nah, that's not happening. 11:30 to 12:30? Nah, hell nah. 11:30 to 1300 is lunch, right? What normally happens? What normally happens at 1300? You're going to show back up to the battery. You're going to show it back to the motor pool. and you're gonna find out what Chief wants you to do. Right now, let's be realistic. If you're in a good section, you guys will train for a little bit. Go through a little land nav training, or go through a little bit of training on the site or whatnot. But 9 times out of 10, and that's just because it's Monday, because the rest of the week, 1,300 extends to about 1,600. Just saying. And then what happens? You'll train from about 1,300 to about 1,400, maybe 1,430. And then Chief's going to be like, all right, hey, have your phones on you. I'll call you when it's time for final formation, which is what, 1,700? So from there, you guys bounce to your barracks and you go hide the fuck out playing Madden on your PlayStations. So how many hours of work did you really do? So far as 3 hours, maybe 4. All right. So y'all can miss me with that bullshit. So we should clarify that this is an average day when we aren't training for something. Don't forget to count all the police calls just so we look busy. 100%. 100%. Again, we got to find busy work for y'all. All right. And then what do we do? But then what do we do, Roland? We kick you fuckers out. Go to your rooms. Go handle any kind of fucking financial situations you need to. That's when most of y'all will go out of fucking Pioneer or go out to right outside the main gates to go get a fucking loan that we will find out about afterwards. So again, the only reason I'm talking about this portion is because, it's a balance on how much you make and how much you work. Now, let's go back to, let's see if we're going off the average, I say 5 to 6 hours. Yeah, I'll say we work about 5 to 6 hours a day, unless we're in the field. And dragging out motor pool Mondays till lunchtime, walking around, kicking. Exactly. So let's not play the part over here like we're fucking busy every fucking day. Even your most high-speed chief, he'll do it once a week or twice a week, where he'll dispatch the fucking vehicles to go out and do some training across the fucking street and occupy. I'm just being real. Let's keep it 1 motherfucking 100. All right. Now, let's go back to the topic at hand. The command sergeant major who retired before deployment, who was actually a first sergeant, or actually a master sergeant, who decided to fucking quit before deploying. That's what I'm talking about right now. And if you haven't done so yet, make sure you hit me up with a like on YouTube. Make sure you're if you're on the Facebook, do me a favor, go to YouTube, like the On the Gunline podcast, like and subscribe to the On the Gunline podcast. We're still growing this channel. We're gonna get big, y'all. We're gonna blow up, and I'm gonna have a different topic to talk about later on this afternoon, because I'm gonna do a video. Now that I have y'all on here, I want to do a video regarding smoking Mary Jane in the military. All right. I want to know, what is y'all's opinion on allowing military service members to smoke and toke out recreationally, to smoke out on the weekends? You know what I'm saying? Let's say it's a 4-day weekend and you want to just go ahead and blaze one for the nation. You know what I mean? What are your thoughts on that? And my argument is this. I'll let you know where my stand is. Actually, I'll let you know on a video. That way y'all could go ahead and tap into that video once I drop it. Holy shit, Jeffrey Kramer. This has got to be the smartest shit I ever seen you write or say before. 100% agree with you on that. So now y'all can still watch the video later on when I drop it. Again, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share. And go to the YouTube. If you're not on YouTube, if you're watching me on the Facebooks, go to the YouTube, like the On the Gunline podcast YouTube page. Yeah, what else do y'all think? I mean, I think that there's benefits to you being a herbal essence smoker. I will email you my answer for Mary Jane in the military. All right, I got you, Roland, no doubt. Let's see. Sick background. The audio sounds good. Hey, I appreciate that, Shane. Thanks a lot, brother. Yo, I can't wait to see that new fucking Alien movie, though, dog. Hey, check it out. Shane Curtis has a YouTube channel. Do me a favor, Shane. Type in the YouTube channel that you have. Is it Cryptid Tactical? I forget. I don't want to fuck up the name, but I appreciate that, big dog. Let's see. It's no different than alcohol. Let's see. Kramer says, I'm a pothead, so when it comes to weed, I go into deep thought. Don't get too deep. Hey, y'all check out Cryptid Tactical on YouTube. I want y'all to go to Cryptid Tactical on YouTube and fucking let them know that Lopez from the Under Gunline sent you there. Hit it like and hit a subscribe to Homeboy's channel, man. He's coming up, moving up, doing big things over there. Cryptid Tactical. So go check Homeboy out. Hey, nothing but love over here, big dog. Nothing but love. And Palfy, 100%. I agree with you, big dog. It's no different than alcohol use. It's no different than alcohol use. Now, I'm not saying you fucking go directly after work or right before work, blaze one up and shit, and then go hit the bong while you're on fucking lunch. Nah, I'm saying on a weekend, recreationally, if you want to blaze one up, go ahead. Because honestly, I think that alcohol is much worse. But that's just me, and I'll talk about it later on the video that I'll do. I'm only going to be on here for about another 15 minutes, y'all, 10 or 15 minutes, because I do have to go ahead and record that video. I hope you guys jump on there later on the Gunline Podcast YouTube channel. And dude, I'm telling you, I think herb should be allowed. I think that hopefully the VA for, let's see. All right, I had to come. All right, had to come over to the best platform. I appreciate you, big dog. I appreciate you. I tell you, I think that the VA, the military, the government itself needs to start looking at different methods other than just pills to help veterans cope with some of the shit we have to when we get out. All right. I'll tell you, I got a couple of friends who indulge in eating of what the Smurfs live in. You know what I'm saying? And apparently it's done wonders for them. All right. It's not an end all, be all, cure all, but it is definitely something that helps them cope with the stresses of life. You know what I'm saying? That's right. That's right. That's what I'm talking about. Mighty Mouse 805. That's my homeboy right there, my big dog, Velasquez. They should be legalized, man. Unfortunately, we are in Texas, but you know, I'll take being in Texas with illegal weed than California with legal gayness of children being hidden from their family. That's another story for another day, right there, right? My VA doctor advocates for it, and it's cool that he advocates for it, but they need to get this shit processed more, man. I mean, again, I've heard microdosing shrooms is been something that a lot of veterans are doing, and apparently it's been helping them out, you know, with living life out here as a veteran. You know, a lot of people out here are living with, you know, PTSD or other mental issues, behavioral issues, if you will, but it doesn't mean that damn, somebody just threw me off. Hold on, what's this say? Let's talk about that asshole trying to fight you in the comments yesterday. Who? I don't know who that would be, TJ. I'll talk and discuss with anybody, anywhere, anytime. You know what I mean? So, I'm going to try to grow my own shrooms. People are charging way too much these days. Gotcha. Hey, shout out to my boy Lee. Hey, check this out. That's the homie right there. That's the homie, Jack Lee. That's the home boy. I served in Korea with him. This man right here served honorably, deployed honorably, and retired honorably. And he's not out there saying he was a retired motherfucking command sergeant major, and he didn't duck in deployments like that other asshole did. Oh man. Hey, Lee, whenever you can, I would love to have you on the pod, bro. I really would, because I think you have one of the most interesting uh lives of the 13 Bravo that anybody could ever understand. But that's on you whenever you can, my brother. Let's see. Professional imaging. Look at him trying to sound all professional. Professional imaging. Motherfucker, you take pictures. That's what it sounds like. Oh man. But back to the VA. I think it would be great if the VA could provide herbal medication or shrooms medication. That's right, Watts. That's the very same one. The same one, homie. So hey Lee, Watts just made fucking E8, bro. That's fucking it's awesome seeing our Joes move up in fucking life. But let's see, what did Palfy say up here? Palfy says shrooms are always my favorite rec since high school. And you know what? Here's the thing. I heard that it helps. It's not something that you get addicted to. You know what I mean? And it's not as bad as, let's say, alcohol would be. Because a lot of veterans, like myself, I'll put myself out there. A lot of veterans, we turn to alcohol to self-medicate. And all that does, honestly, it fucking deteriorates us from the inside out. I'm not saying that alcohol is not fun to indulge with, but I'm saying it's also easy to with herb. If you smoke too much herb, what happens? You're gonna go to sleep. You're gonna be too lazy to do anything. With alcohol, you keep drinking, you black out. Next thing you know, you wake up in jail. Just saying. I'm just saying. It would be outstanding that they would prescribe the Mary Jane and I wouldn't have to pay for it. I feel you on that, man. I feel you 100%. It would be great. But the thing about you know why alcohol is legal and fucking you know why alcohol is legal and weed isn't? Weed can't get taxed, y'all. Weed can't get taxed. Were any of y'all in 19 FA? Aside from me, I don't think I see anybody in here that was in 19 with but I know that we had 277 in here. We got people from 1st and 15th. We got people that were in shit. Artillery is a very small world, man. Y'all know how it is. Oh man. Smoke too much. The most you want to do is eat. Exactly. Watch says, yo, Kramer, thanks, bro. And then we got Gary. I watched my uncle make and eat a shroom and peanut butter sandwich when I was a kid, and he definitely did a lot because we had to keep an eye on him for a day. Jesus Christ. 277 and 3rd of the 320th. Hell to the yeah, baby. Let's see. Is that Neiled? I don't know who Neiled is, so I don't know. Yeah, y'all. If y'all talking about first names, I'm lost on that one, fellas. Oh man, Cryptid says I think people underestimate nicotine, Zen specifically. I fully think THC, nicotine, and caffeine have saved my life, bro. You are preaching to the choir right here. I got my coffee right here, and nicotine supposedly is good. Nicotine supposedly is good, but not in a cigarette form. Not in a cigarette form because of the toxins that are in it. Unfortunately, I still smoke my Newports here and there, so it be what it be. 44 dues, 212, 137 FA, says Gary Rowland. Oh man, here we go with the fucking Rockasons, Red Knight Rockasons. Jesus H. Christ. Ain't the Rockasons the ones that were always clowned on by every other unit that was in the 100 and worse? Oh man. The trip is very enjoyable. However, the clarity and euphoric feelings that you get afterwards, it really balances you out for like a week. Lasts longer. That's why I advocate for it. You know what's funny, dog? 100%. I've heard that the thing about the thing about the shrooms is that it's about the setting that you're in and who you're with. So you have to be comfortable with the people you're around, and you have to make sure that you're also comfortable in your environment. Because if not, you could easily take a bad trip. I've been too nervous to do shrooms myself personally because I always need to be in control of things, and I know that it only lasts 4 hours for the trip, but I have to be extremely, extremely comfortable to do that. You know what I mean? I don't want to have a bad trip. That's my biggest fear. Let's just say I had a very bad experience once with hallucinogens, and it was no bueno. Let's see. When I microdose, I don't trip. I just have a lot of energy and super focus. See, that's what I heard about microdosing, Roland. I heard that microdosing is good because you don't get the effects of the tripping, but you do get the benefits of the rewiring of the brain. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look at my axolotl back there swimming. I don't know if y'all see my axolotl over there. That is which axolotl is that? Okay, that's Manny. That's Manny the axolotl. Just throwing that out there. Let's see. They tried. They were just mad because they wasn't us. Okay, calm down. They hate us because they ain't us. Rocket signs. Tobacco is bad when you light something on fire and inhale it. But research nicotine, y'all. It'll change your life in a combination with caffeine and THC. You know what? I haven't tried the Zins yet. Where do you start with that? Because I think they have different levels on Zin, right? That's the only reason I haven't bought it because I don't know which one to buy it from. So, hey, again, let me shout you all. I want to thank you all. Make sure you go to On the Gunline Podcast YouTube channel, like, subscribe, help me grow that channel, y'all. Um, I can only get bigger with y'all's assistance, man. It's great to have this interaction. I love this interaction. I honestly was just gonna come on here and bitch and complain about that fake ass Command Sergeant Major Tim Waltz, who was actually a E8, who I still say is no better than a motherfucker shooting himself in the goddamn foot or a female getting pregnant to duck a deployment. That's all I'm saying. So let's see. Ralphie May said it best. Only do it with people you can trust with your life and establish in a safe place on the couch, front porch, bench, or your favorite recliner. You know what's funny? I met I met um I met Ralphie May out here in San Antonio. He came to the LOL comedy club. That's my home comedy club that I go to. And after the show, we actually had a conversation, man, for a few minutes. And he was a very big advocate for veterans and veterans with PTSD and whatnot. So Ralphie May is the man. Rest in peace. I met him right before he died, man. I got to see him. All right. So Zen is a lifesaver on a plane. I've heard that Zen is good. I need to try this out. Can y'all tell me what dose do I start on? Because I've been doing the fucking gum and that doesn't work for me. I mean, it just tastes nasty. Apparently, I was doing the gum all wrong too. Apparently, you're supposed to put the gum and then just leave it by your gums, kind of like you would with dip. But I sucked at it. So let's see. Palfy, that's more so acid, dude. Shrooms are different. Okay. And I've done a lot of hallucinogens crazy. Hallucinogens aren't like crazy. It's literally just a great feeling and flashes of light. You know what? I'm gonna trust my indigenous brother from another mother. I'm gonna trust you on that, Flaffy, as old Roy Croft used to call you. And I'm gonna have to, but I'm still on probation. Once I'm off probation, I'll definitely hit that up. All right, let's see. Tucker Carlson, Zin, he got an amazing insight and advice. I'll check that out. Didn't he do that? I think he was on there with Theo Vaughn when they talked about it. I'm not 100% sure. Let's see. Cryptid is correct. Anything you have to burn and inhale is bad for you, even marijuana. I know there's a lot of people that are gonna they're not gonna agree with you on that one. Get with me sometime so we can get the podcast set up. For sure, dog. Hey, I got you on the Facebook. I'll hit you up through the messages right there, big homie. Hey, I'm proud of you, bro. You did a lot through you did a lot in the military, man, and I'm proud of you. I love seeing some of the shit that you were doing out there in Alaska as well. So we'll definitely talk about it. I can't wait to have you on here, brother. Palfy, I do wintergreen 6, but I do 2 pouches, so it's 12 milligrams. See, once y'all start jumping into shit like that, I suck at math, bro. So just tell me which ones I need to buy. Look, I smoke about a pack every 2 days, every 2 to 3 days. a pack of cigarettes. What dose do I need? And I smoke Newports because I'm from the hood. So y'all know us people from the hood, we like our malt liquor and our Newports. So which one do I need? And I don't drink anymore, so let me know. All right, fellas, check this out. It's been a pleasure speaking with you all. I really enjoyed this time together. It's gonna be left here for you guys to review it again, and for those that didn't see it, they can catch up on the replay. If you haven't done so yet, I'm gonna ask one more time. Please go to YouTube and check out the Under Gunline podcast YouTube channel. There, I have a fuckload of interviews that I've done there, a fuckload of shoot the shit episodes, and a fuckload of me just rambling like a dumbass. I appreciate everything y'all do for me, man. Thank you for being here, supporting me. And with that said, I appreciate everything y'all do, everything that y'all have done and continuing will do. Oh, and fuck Tim Waltz. Gunline out, fellas. Deuces.